beauties? Welcome back to my channel, Holy Hair. In this video, I'm going to be taking my beautiful client, Christine, from highlights to balayage. So normally we do foil highlights on her. So I'm gonna show you guys how you would take your client that is normally regular highlights to a lower maintenance balayage. So we're gonna be doing a root shadow on her. We're also gonna be doing a really fun and bold money piece in the front here. I'm gonna show you guys her formula and all the steps that I'm gonna take to achieve her new look.
Let's go, let's lead, let's hit, let's go. Holy hair, let's go, let's go, let's go.
So I have her formula all mixed up and I'm gonna be doing Schwarzkopf Blondeme, and I mixed 20 and 7 volume, which is gonna make a 15 volume, and then I mixed Shade ZQ 7N with the processing solution that is a gloss to gel, so it makes it a little bit thicker consistency, so it's easier to apply. So that's what I'm gonna be using for her root shadow and low light. And then I got my foils all set up, my foiling comb, board, clips, everything ready to go. Okay, so I wanna show you guys how I have her sectioned. So this is gonna be her money piece, and I have it kind of diagonally sectioned on both sides. So we're kind of gonna go underneath a little bit, and then like this hair is going to kind of fall on top so that it's gonna look really bold and chunky, but also natural and wearable. And then we have her side sectioned out, and I'm gonna be doing root shadow on basically her whole head, but I'm also going to be pulling through a few highlights. So this little section here, I'm gonna pull through a couple highlights because it's right on the crown of her head. So we don't want it to look like really drugged down. We want it to have depth with the root shadow, but we also want it to be lifted up with the highlights. So we're gonna get that contrast with having the highlights on top there. I'm gonna be doing obviously the bold money piece in front, but I'm also gonna be doing some hairline foils so that when she puts her hair up, she's not gonna have like one stripe right here. Like we're not gonna end the money piece here. We're gonna like continue having some face framing highlights, so then when she puts her hair up, it's gonna look really natural and pretty and bright. So I'm gonna be starting in this back section here. What I'm gonna do first is her root shadow, just to blend any harsh lines of the grow out of the highlights, and then I'm gonna pull through some low lights for dimension. Okay, so I'm coming to this top section here, and I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna do a few highlights up here, but in between the foils, I'm going to pull down the root shadow. So taking this section here, I'm gonna piece out some fine weaves, and then I'm just going to clip these off to the side. This, I'm gonna bring down the root shadow. Take this section, and we're gonna touch up the highlight here. And I'm just gonna lightly feather the highlight up to her root because we want this to be really soft. Okay, so coming onto the side and the money piece area, I'm gonna show you guys how I'm going about doing this section. So basically what I'm gonna do across this entire section is take baby fine sections and pieces, and I'm gonna be weaving and foiling this whole section. have her money piece and all of her hairline foils all done. I'm gonna go into these interior sections. And also the reason why I did these front foils first before I did these sections is because we want these to be really bright and we want them to process a little bit longer than these sections. So going on to my first section here, I am going to pull down her root shadow through the entire section first. So I'm gonna do the perimeter of her section, and we wanna pull it down just past this line of regrowth here. And when you're pulling down a root shadow, what you can do to make it look really natural is over direct the hair in different directions and also feather it down with the brush like this. So see how I'm over directing this section towards the back, and then I am feathering it down because we want it to be really natural. And then I'm going to do the same thing coming over on this side. And then we're just gonna take sections and I'm going to feather this down on each section of hair. And we're just over directing the sections here and I'm feathering each section down like that. And doing this root shadow right after her money piece section is gonna give her a really bold look with the money piece in the front. And a nice contrast. I just wanna show you guys, I'm not going to do a ton of highlights. I'm gonna mainly do low lights, which is going to make the blonde that she already has pop, but we are going to bring up just a couple highlights in the top section here. So I'm gonna be taking diagonal sections and we're gonna be going just after her money piece. You wanna just keep that in mind. So what I'm gonna do here is a highlight and I'm just gonna weave through, very fine weave here. And I'm not gonna be bringing this up all the way to the root. I'm gonna kind of feather it up. So, and you can apply lightener over top of color, that is totally fine. And then I'm gonna go into some low lights. And I'm gonna take a little bit thicker weaves for her low light. And I'm gonna go in with another highlight and a fine weave. And we're just gonna feather this up. So we're not going all the way to the root. Just feathering it up. put my towels in the dryer. Come on, Pop. Hi, Poppy. Everyone loves Poppy. So I've just pulled all of her foils, and this is what her raw lift is gonna look like before we rinse. And I have her glaze mixed up, and I am using Shades EQ, equal parts 10T and 10P with processing solution. And give this a good rinse, towel dry, apply her toner, and I'm gonna let the toner sit on for 20 minutes.